Assalamu alaikum, CAIR San Francisco Bay Area, friends and family. It's a little dark in here. I don't know, is that like part of the vibes? I like to see people's beautiful faces. First of all, thank you so much, Michelle, for such an incredible introduction. Yes, next time you talk to me, I'm no longer Sister Linda. I am Sitti Linda to the rest of you. And this is a type of joy that only those who have been bestowed with the blessings of being grandparents can understand. And in the face of a world that has tried to annihilate the Palestinian people, that has had a concerted effort for over 7 decades to erase the Palestinian people off the face of this earth, just this Thursday on October 9th, my family brought into this world a 100% fully blooded Palestinian baby girl named after me. Because we will exist and we will be free. And inshallah, one day me and my beloved granddaughter will pray in Al-Aqsa and visit the beaches of Gaza in a free Palestine. And it is not if, it is when, and that when is coming very soon. Tonight's theme for this banquet, sisters and brothers, is very dear to my heart. Speaking truth in the face of injustice. And if there's anybody that knows the consequences of speaking truth in the face of injustice, it is definitely me, and it is definitely CAIR. And alhamdulillah, for over 37 years, San Francisco started the first ever CAIR chapter in the United States of America. It was here in your community. You started it, and you maintained it for 37 years. So when you see the incredible work of CAIR San Francisco, when you see the cases, when you see the people in these detention centers who are being visited and supported by attorneys from this CAIR chapter, when you see the pieces of legislation, when you see the advocacy, when you see the CAIR representation and people like Zahra Billu on the news talking about the issues and how they impact our communities, when you watch the kind of incredible work that is being done by this chapter, know that is a reflection of you and your support. I came here last year. I probably came here the year before that and the year before that too, because I never say no to our CAIR San Francisco Bay Area chapter banquet. You know why? Because yes, I did come here 2 days after my granddaughter was born, who is a precious member of my family, but Zahra Billu is my sister. She too is my family. And my presence here today, I came here for 12 hours only. So we're going to do the math together. I came on a 6-hour flight. I'm going back on a 6-hour flight, and I'm spending only 12 hours here. But I'm not going to make that into 24 hours. I'm just going to count the 12 hours that I'm in the Bay Area. That equals $100,000 an hour. So what's $100,000 an hour times 12 hours? That's $1.2 million. And that is the minimum that we are going to raise tonight, because the goal of tonight is $1.5 million. And you know how I know that you're going to do that tonight? Because I came here last year. You remember that? Who was here last year? Pretty much most of you were. Last year, Zahra said to me, Sister Linda, we're going to try to raise around maybe $650,000. I said, you think I came on an airplane for 6 hours to raise $650,000? You must be crazy. You know why? Because the Saturday before that, I was in Georgia at the CAIR Georgia chapter. And CAIR Georgia raised $1 million. So I ran over here the Saturday after that to say to the Bay Area, you best to not let Georgia beat you. You're going to let Georgia raise $1 million? And guess what San Francisco said? Bet, Sister Linda, we're not going to let CAIR Georgia raise no $1 million. And then you know what happened here? We raised $1 million. I'm going to remind you, because this was a great story. We raised $1 million, Sister Latifa. And then what happened? An elder sister came to the stage. And she said, oh, no. She took and pulled out a dollar bill. And she said to me, you go tell those Georgia people that we raised $1,001,001. And that's how we got to that. And then I said, I don't know if it sounds that good when you only raise $1,001,001. I said, is it all right if we use your dollar to raise a little bit more? And we left last year with $1.1 million for the CAIR San Francisco Bay Area chapter. From you, from this community. So why do I say $1.5 million? And some of you are probably whispering to your spouses and your families at the table, Sister Linda, every day somebody's asking me for money. Every day in the Bay Area, we're raising money for this organization, that organization, last week, the 2 weeks before that. I understand. I know there's a lot of people asking you for money. But let me tell you about this current political moment that we're in right now. We are in a serious situation. And if you haven't noticed that we are in a serious situation, that I'm coming to remind you that we are in a serious situation. We live in a country right now, sisters and brothers, where people from our community, including leaders of ours, are being kidnapped by ICE every single day. There are organizations in our community that are being targeted by the United States government. There are students in our community that continue to be doxxed and harassed right now. On your watch in the state of California, your governor just passed a bill to basically exclude teaching anything about Palestine, K through 12th grade, and that happened in California. Shame. Imagine if that happens in California, then what hope does the rest of the country have? So now our work just has to step up. This administration has already demonstrated that they believe they are above the law. But CAIR's job is to remind them what the law is and to hold them accountable to the law. And I just want to be very clear and on the record here. We are not afraid of Donald Trump, and we are not afraid of his administration. And we're willing to accept any consequences that come with speaking truth to power, because that is in fact what our faith prescribes us to do. I tell people all the time, and the Muslims all the time, that we do a lot of talking about Islam and we preach Islam, but do we actually understand what it is that is being preached to us? There is nothing that you have, sisters and brothers, that belongs to you. And we were told that earlier in the reception. It was reminded to us, and I'm going to reaffirm it here. Every blessing that you have has been loaned to you. And when we have mothers and fathers in these communities who are in detention centers 5 hours away in Bakersfield, it is your responsibility to ensure that we bring those mothers and fathers back home to their children. That they can look up in a detention center and say, my Muslim community got my back. As a student, I'm going to fight for Palestine on my college campus because I know CAIR got my back. You are the source of confidence that our people in our community need in this moment. And so tonight, you may have gave to some other organization last week and the week before that, but I promise you, sisters and brothers, that Allah continues to bless you for these very moments and for nights like these today. So we want to be able to call our brother Imad in Georgia, because he already sent the challenge. And for there's folks in this room that know Brother Imad very well. Imad Sabah, who for a long time was the national chair of the CAIR national office, but also the chairman of the CAIR Georgia chapter. He said, just so you know, on September 5th, Cori Bush was their keynote speaker, and they raised $1 million. And we told Imad, you don't need to tell us that, my brother, because our goal is already higher than yours. And so, inshallah, we're going to report back tonight. And last year when we called Imad, it was about 11 o'clock over here and 2 o'clock in the morning all the way over there in Georgia. And you better believe he woke up to take my call to say, we beat you, brother. And inshallah, we'll beat you again next year. And one of the things that I will share with all of you is that the darkness is still going to be here for a little while. And it's probably going to get worse than it is right now. But I know this and you know this. After darkness comes light. And what I want you to do in the meantime is we just got to maintain and sustain what we have so that inshallah when that lightness comes, we can be our full unapologetic selves in this country and inshallah bring in a new era. Many of you have been watching what's happening in Palestine right now. And yes, you hear of an announcement about a ceasefire. And there might be one temporarily. There might be one that's long-term. We don't know. But what I do know is that the Palestinian people picked up their bags and started walking back to the central of Gaza, to the north of Gaza. Because we will return to our lands. And if the Palestinian people taught you anything, they taught you that you got no one but Allah. And for the entire 2 years, you heard the Palestinian people say, Hasbinallah wa ni'mal wakeel, that Allah is the most sufficient to them. And if a people like them could have this much faith in Allah and believe that freedom is inevitable, and that they could pick up their children and pick up whatever is left that they have and go back to their original homelands in Gaza, then we have no excuses here, sisters and brothers. Because at the end of the day, while we've done what we could, we know we could have done more. And for 2 years, we have demonstrated and exposed to ourselves, not to anybody else, that we have a long way to go. And everything that we've done for the last 2 years has not been enough. And what I learned in the last 2 years is we have to be ready so we don't have to get ready. And that's why when you have an organization like CAIR, don't wait till the FBI knocks on your door. Don't wait till your student in college is being expelled at their university. Don't wait till you're a nurse and your supervisor comes and tries to reprimand you for saying the things that you believe. Be ready so you don't have to get ready. And so for the next year, until we get to the next banquet, we want to make sure that CAIR San Francisco Bay Area has every single penny that they need to do the best work, to focus on the work and not focus on the fundraising. And I believe in you, San Francisco Bay Area, because you have proved to me over and over again that you are one of the most generous communities in this country. May Allah continue to bless you and give you what you give tonight 1,000 folds. And whatever you came with here, if you said, Sister Linda, wallahi, I was coming here ready to give, I'm about to put $5,000 on the table. Sisters and brothers, put 10,000. If you were coming to put 20, put 50,000 on the table. Because I promise you, and I've learned this myself, and I've told you this many times before, there has been no one in our community that has ever given to a good cause and became poor afterwards. In fact, those in our community who are the most generous, Allah is more generous to them when they are generous to good causes. So that's what we're expecting from all of you this evening. And many of you used to ask me this many times before. They used to say, Sister Linda, what gets you up in the morning? And I used to always tell you, I wake up in the morning and I thank Allah that He even chose for me to get up this morning, and I'm grateful. And then the next feeling I get is perpetual outrage. I'm outraged every day. Wallahi, the minute after I'm grateful to Allah for waking me up, I remember all that is happening and it outrages me. But now I have a new feeling. I have a renewed purpose. Now I'm no longer fighting for a future generation that has not been born yet. Now I'm fighting for one that is here, that I am responsible for now, and that is my granddaughter. So I'm asking you tonight that when you give this evening, give because you are also fighting for my granddaughter and fighting for your grandchildren and inshallah your great-grandchildren, because that is the responsibility of this generation. You know, there are a lot of elders in this room who have helped us build institutions in the Bay Area, built incredible masajid, incredible Islamic schools, infrastructure. But for my generation, those of you who are in my generation, those of you in your 40s, those of you in your late 30s, what will you say that you built? What will you say to the next generation was your contribution? What will you get to point to? And I want you to be able to say that during our generation, we continue to strengthen the infrastructure that was built by our elders, so that a CAIR chapter who's been around for 37 years, inshallah, is around for 100 more years. And that one day, inshallah, our community won't need a CAIR, because we will no longer have to fight to be our full selves in this country, that we're going to build a country where we all belong, where we all don't just survive, but we thrive in this country, just like folks intended that to be. So in that spirit, I'm going to bring up our next speaker tonight. She is fire, my friends. Fire like only Oakland can give. Because no offense, California, you're not really known for fire. Y'all are the slowest people. Like, I'm from New York. You're too slow for me. Your vibes, I don't mix with California. That's why I can't live in California. Y'all are chill, relaxed people. And I like that for you. I love that for you. but it doesn't match my vibe. But I did find a place in California that did match my vibe, and that was Oakland, California. I felt Brooklyn in Oakland, California. That was where I could be fully Brooklyn and not feel judged by the rest of the Californians. Just want to tell you one quick thing about this incredible woman before I bring her up here. Many of you started hearing about her when she became a member of Congress. And you all know who I'm talking about, Congresswoman Latifah Simon. But I know Latifah before that. And a lot of times people don't know the people before that. Latifah deserves to be in Congress because she's been fighting for us for decades. She's been outside fighting for black, brown, and poor people for a really long time. And I remember during genocide, she was trying to figure out what was her role. How does she fit in here? And people always want the loud people. They want the ones that do all the talking. I like the people that do the doing. You could talk all you want and say free Palestine all day long, but if you don't got actions to match your free Palestine, that's not going to work for me, my friends. This woman came out of philanthropy, and she wanted to support charity organizations helping the Palestinian people, helping Palestinian women and children who were literally being impacted by the genocide. That's who Latifah Simon is. She's always looking for solutions. She's always looking to where she could use whatever role she's in to do something that is productive in that moment. And so when Latifah went to Congress, I don't know about you, but I was in shock, because that's where you belong. And not only where you belong, but that's who we deserve in Congress. Congresswoman Latifah is not just a protester in Congress. She's a strategist, someone who's strategic, that's learning how to navigate power, not for herself, but for all of our people. This is a woman of courage, of fearlessness, and I pray that Allah protects her every single day, and that Allah continues to maintain the wisdom that she has, and that Allah makes her a benefit to all of our communities, and especially the most marginalized, most downtrodden, and the most targeted communities in our country who are looking for light like you, Latifah. And it is with great honor and great privilege that we welcome to the stage she's my congresswoman too, and I'm all the way in New York City, but she's definitely your congresswoman here from the greater San Francisco Bay Area. Please welcome to the stage Congresswoman Latifah